Hare Krishna. So we will start with our Jaya Radha Madhava prayer and then we'll go to Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha
Girivaradari Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana
Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana
Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana
Yashodanandana Vraja
Janaranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari
Yamuna Tiravanachari
Yamuna Tiravanachari
Yamuna Tiravanachari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Jaya Radha Natavara Radha Natavara Radhe
Jaya Radha Natavara Radha Natavara Radhe
Jaya Jagannath Jaya Jagannath Jaya Balaram Deva Jaya Subhadra
Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya
Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai
Jaya Gauranidai Gauranidai Jaya Gauranidai
Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya
Prabhupada Jaya
Please repeat after me. Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Devaki Nandanaya Cha
Devaki Nandanaya Cha
Nanda Gopakumaraya
Nanda Gopa Kumaraya
Govindaya Namo Namaha
Govindaya Namo Namaha.
Namah Pankajanaಭaya
Namah Pankajanaಭaya.
Namah Pankajamaline
Namah Pankajamaline.
Namah Pankajanetraya
Namah Pankajanetraya.
Namaste Pankajangraye
Namaste Pankajangaye.
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare.
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Hare Rama Hare Rama.
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana-sharakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai.
Sorry, I just want to let you know, I just got a call from Gujarat. His wife met an accident, they had come, and somebody biker came and picked her. She's a 9-month pregnant. She went to keep her in prayers. I'll just let you know what's going to happen. We just did a baby shower for her.
You are going there?
I don't know, I'll have to go if it is necessary, but I just want to let you know.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, we will keep her in our prayers and thoughts. Welcome all of you. Thank you all so much for coming to ISKCON's Sunday Feast program, ISKCON Columbus Sunday Feast program. So today's topic I have chosen is principles to attain pure devotional service. So before we go into the topic, I need to mention about the speaker who wrote Nectar of Instruction briefly. Then we'll go into the topic because we are going to discuss some topics from Nectar of Instruction. So we need to know who wrote that Nectar of Instruction, and then we'll take it from there. Right. So in the preface to the book called Nectar of Instruction or Upadeshamrita, Prabhupada said our Krishna conscious movement is under the conduct, under the supervision of Srila Rupa Goswami. So the Krishna conscious movement is under the direction of, by instruction of Srila Rupa Goswami. That's why we are known as Rupanugas, followers of Rupa Goswami. So who is Rupa Goswami? Rupa Goswami was one of the 6 Goswamis or disciples of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is none other than Krishna himself, appeared 500 years ago. And the 6 Goswamis, starting with the leading by Rupa Goswami, there are 6 Goswamis. They are disciples of. Sorry. So let's not worry about that for now.
On the second to the left, that's
Okay, so you guys are with me, so yeah. It's all right. Yeah, so Rupa Goswami, one of the 6 Goswamis, disciples of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is none other than Krishna himself. So he appeared 500 years ago. To understand the instructions or to follow Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one has to understand the. I think we need to increase the volume.
Yeah.
All right. Just something cannot do in the back. Second one. No, here in the front. You see the green light? Increase it maximum. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. So in order to understand the mood and instructions of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one has to understand the instructions of Srila Rupa Goswami and other Goswamis. So Srila Rupa Goswami was the chief or the lead among these 6 Goswamis. So Rupa Goswami gave several instructions and several books. He wrote several verses and several books for us to practice Krishna consciousness, for us to advance in Krishna consciousness or Bhakti Yoga. So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita 5,000 years ago, you all know. So he mentioned different types of yogas. So yoga means to connect or to link. Yoga is not something we hear or we see on every corner these days where people do physical exercises. That is not just the purpose of the yoga. Yes, yoga, that kind of yoga helps one to make their body fit. That's good. But the real purpose of yoga is to connect ourselves to the Supreme Self. Okay? So yoga means to linking our consciousness, ourselves with the Supreme Self. That is called yoga. So in Bhagavad Gita, different types of yogas are mentioned. So these different types of yogas are compared to the rungs in the ladder, steps in the ladder. So it's starting with karma yoga. So you can connect yourself to Krishna by different processes. If you are predominantly connecting yourself with the activities, the results of the activities with Krishna, that is called karma yoga. You perform the karma and you offer the results to Krishna. Somehow you are linking your activity to Krishna, that is called karma yoga. And the next one is jnana yoga. Jnana yoga is by knowledge. So you connect to Krishna by knowledge, that's called jnana yoga. Then dhyana yoga. Dhyana yoga is by meditation. So by meditating upon the super soul, you connect to Krishna. So, and the ultimate yoga system that is mentioned and recommended by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita is called Bhakti Yoga. So, Bhakti Yoga is basically in English, it is called devotional service. Our acharyas defined Bhakti not just as a devotion, not just as an emotion or a sentiment. Bhakti is defined as devotional service. It's not a speculative thing. It's not just imaginary. It's not speculative, it's not just emotion, but it is a service, devotional service. So we are talking about how to practice. We are on the path of practicing Bhakti Yoga, right? So in order to do the service, pure devotional service to the Lord, one has to attain the qualification also. One has to come to certain level. In Bhagavad Gita 14th chapter, Krishna says that in order to serve a king, in order to serve a great personality, you also have to come to certain level. You need to get those qualifications to serve the great personality. Similarly, one has to go beyond these three modes of material nature so that we can serve the Supreme Lord with proper consciousness and pure devotional service. Right? So, then first thing is we need to understand what is pure devotional service. So I have been saying this word pure devotional service. What exactly pure devotional service means, right? So Rupa Goswami gave the definition of pure devotional service in a scripture called Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, or Nectar of Devotion. Okay? So it goes like this. Anyabhilashita shunyam
Anyabhilashita shunyam
jnana karmadhyanavritam anukulyena krishnanu Silanam bhaktiruttama. So the definition of pure devotional service is Uttama Bhakti, or unallied devotion unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, involves the rendering of devotional service in a way that is favorable to the Lord. This devotional service should be free from any extraneous motive and devoid of fruitive karma, impersonal jnana, and all other selfish desires. So, a lot of times we hear people performing bhakti. I am also a devotee, I am performing bhakti. We hear so many times in India and different places. So, I am a devotee of so and so Lord, I am performing bhakti. But the Rupa Goswami clearly gives the definition of pure bhakti. What exactly is pure bhakti? So, people think that they go to temple, they offer $5 or $2 in the hundi or 2 rupees in the hundi, and they pay obeisances. They think that's bhakti. And they come with big list. They think that is bhakti, right? Just going to the temple itself is bhakti. But Srila Rupa Goswami is clearly defining what is bhakti. Bhakti, the first line, there are two sections in this. So one is called Swarupa Lakshana. So in this definition, there is something called Swarupa Lakshana, and second one is Gaula Lakshana. That means basically one is primary, the other one is secondary. So the primary Lakshana of pure devotional service is Anukulyena Krishnanushilanam, meaning one has to perform devotional service in a favorable way. So favorable way means, like for example, like if you think about Hiranyakashipu was also always thinking about Krishna or Vishnu. So do we consider that as a pure devotional service? Even though he was thinking about Krishna, but his thinking was in a negative way. He wanted to kill Vishnu. That's what his mood was. Kamsa was thinking about Krishna all the time, but his mood was different. It was not favorable. So when we are doing devotional service, when we are thinking about Krishna, it has to be favorable to Krishna. Krishna should feel happy about that our devotional service. So that is a primary. And the secondary qualifications or characteristics of pure devotional service, Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karma janavritam. Anyabhilashita means without any desires. Our only desire on the path of bhakti, our only desire is to please Krishna. There is no other desires. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Nadanam najanam nasundarim So I do not want any wealth, I do not want women. So he says, I only want to serve Krishna life after life after life. That should be the characteristics of pure devotional service. I do not want anything. I am not coming with any list of desires to in front of Krishna. Krishna, please provide me. So I am not doing that. All I am praying Krishna is to give me intelligence so that I can serve you better. Under any circumstance, I want to serve you, Krishna. Anya Bilashita Shunyam. Shunyam means zero. There are no other desires. Okay? And Jnana Karma Anavrutam. Jnana and Karma. So in this particular section, Rupa Goswami is saying Jnana means speculative knowledge. There are so many people, the Jnanis, they do this speculative knowledge about devotion or God. So Rupa Goswami is saying this is divide of Jnana, speculative knowledge, and Karma. Karma means fruitive activities. One should not be doing any fruitive activity. One should not come to Krishna for any fruitive results. So this is the definition of the pure devotional service, right? So it is not simple, simple meditation, sitting idle and meditating upon something like pseudo yogis do. So meditation is good. Meditation means basically stopping all other nonsensical things from our mind. That's what is meditation means. So some people just try to do that, but devotional service is beyond that. It's not just doing meditation, sitting idle, but also performing, engaging oneself in meaningful devotional activities. It's not just sitting idle and meditating. That's not devotional service. But as the word service indicates, one has to actively perform, devotional activities. So we will see what those activities are. Prahlad Maharaj in Srimad Bhagavatam mentioned 9 different types of bhakti. Okay, 9 different types. So what are those 9 different processes of bhakti or 9 different types of bhakti? Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. So these are the 9 processes, okay, 9 things that are given by how a devotional service can be executed by these 9 different ways. Okay. Sravanam, starting with Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. So it starts with Sravanam. Sravanam means hearing submissively. The first step in acquiring transcendental knowledge is about Sravanam. So we have to hear submissively. So who should we hear from? Okay, it says that who should we hear from? Do we hear from anybody, whatever we hear from anything on YouTube, there is so much these days. Can we go and hear everything about about this transcendental knowledge on YouTube and social media? No. Again, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that in the 4th chapter, 34th verse, how to gain knowledge. It says that Tadvidya pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnanina tattvadarshinaha. So Krishna says to gain knowledge, one has to approach a spiritual master or a guru and serve him and inquire from him submissively, because they have seen the truth. So they can impart this knowledge because these spiritual masters, gurus, they have seen the truth already, so they can impart this knowledge to others. So the right way to obtain the knowledge or the sravanam, transcendental knowledge, is to seek a guru. So we have to approach a guru who has seen this truth. So tadvidya pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnanina tattvadarshina. Okay. So one has to find a guru, one has to approach a guru to gain this knowledge or transcendental knowledge. So now, in order to perform all these activities, so Rupa Goswami, again, in Nectar of Instruction, it's such a very, very beautiful book. It's a very small book. It has only 11 verses. It's a very small book, 11 verses, but each and every verse of Nectar of Instruction is like a gem. So if you follow the instructions that are given by Rupa Goswami in this 11, you can attain, success is guaranteed in devotional service. Every verse is like a gem. So today we are going to mainly focus on verse 3. Okay, so this particular verse specifically talks about, so please repeat after me. Prabhu, did you bring it up? Okay, wonderful. Utsaha nischayat dhairyat
Utsaha nishchaya
tattat karma pravartanat
tattat karma pravartanat
sangatyagat sato vritte
sangatyagat sato vritte
षड्भिर भक्तिर प्रसिद्ध्यति
Shaddi bhakti pratisthati
उत्साह निश्चयात् धैर्यात्
Utsaha nishchaya dharya
तत्तत् कर्म प्रवर्तनात्
tattat karma pravartanat
संगत्यागात् सतो वृत्ते
sangatyagat sato vritte
षड्भिर भक्ति प्रसिद्ध्यति
Shaddi bhakti prasidhyati
उत्साह निश्चयात् धैर्यात्
Utsaha nishchaya dharya
तत्तत् कर्म प्रवर्तनात्
tattat karma pravartanat
संगत्यागात् सतो वृत्ते
sangatyagat sato vritte
षड्भिर भक्ति प्रसिद्ध्यति.
Shaddi bhakti prasidhyati
So here, so there are 6 principles that are given by Srila Rupa Goswami. And the last line says, Shadbir Bhakti Prasidhyati. So if you follow these 6 principles, so if you look at the translation of this verse, so if you look at the translation, somebody can read the translation? Prabhu, go ahead, please.
There are 6 principles favorable to the execution of pure devotional service. 1. Being enthusiastic. 2. Endeavoring with confidence. 3. Being patient. 4. Acting according to regulative principles such as Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam, hearing, chanting and remembering Krishna. 5. Abandoning the association of non-devotees. And 6. Following in the footsteps of the previous acharyas. These 6 principles undoubtedly assure the complete success of pure devotional service.
So Rupa Goswami is giving a clear instruction. There is no, there is no question, there is no doubt about this. He clearly saying, if one follows these 6 principles, one is guaranteed, 100% guaranteed to have success in attaining pure devotional service. So today let's try to understand each one of these little bit. Of course, this understanding these 6 topics takes several hours. So it's like each topic can be spoken for 2-3 hours, more than that. But we are given only like another 35 minutes or so. We'll try to get as much as possible today. So the first one out of the 6 principles is the principle of Utsaha. Utsaha means enthusiasm. So what exactly enthusiasm means? So when we come to Krishna consciousness for the first time, okay, when we start following Krishna consciousness for the first time, or when we are trying to understand Krishna consciousness, we know certain principles, some small things, we all can relate. We are very, very enthusiastic. There's a lot of enthusiasm. Wow, this kirtan is so nice. The dancing kirtan, excellent prasadam. We feel excited to come to the temple every Sunday, right? And then we try to perform activities with so much enthusiasm. Then over the time, what happens? Do we feel the same enthusiasm, same energy that we started with? For most of the people, most of the devotees, that's not the case. Slowly, the enthusiasm that we have in the beginning, it slowly starts fading away. So first of all, one has to understand what is enthusiasm. What is enthusiasm? Why we don't feel enthusiasm over the certain period. So initially we have so much enthusiasm, slowly it fades away. Why does it happen? Why people do not have same enthusiasm that they started with? Why don't we have it? So what is enthusiasm? Can somebody define enthusiasm? What exactly is enthusiasm means? Yes.
It means to be filled with God. N is inside and Thus is God. So it means to be filled with God.
Sorry, could you please repeat?
Enthusiasm means to be filled with God. N is inside and Thus is
Okay,
God.
so to be filled with God.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Any other definitions?
Last time, Radha Gopinath Prabhu, when he came,
Yeah.
he defined like enthusiasm means consistently doing the service over the years.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, Radha Gopinath Prabhu said when he came a couple of months ago. So he gave the definition, basically consistently doing the service over the period of time, consistently doing it. That's enthusiasm. So any other, yes, Manipur.
So enthusiasm is something like say something that you didn't know that will cause lot of fountain of happiness, but you have seen it for the first time. That moment you get something, some feeling, that is enthusiasm.
So the feeling of getting happiness or excitement.
Fountain of it.
Fountain of it. Okay, that is enthusiasm. Yes, next.
Self-motivated and continuing the same without expecting the result.
Okay, so Hare Krishna Prabhu is saying something similar to what Radha Gopinath Prabhu said, continuing the same thing without expecting any results. So that is enthusiasm, right? So what did Srila Prabhupada say in the purport of Nectar of Instruction? So these are all wonderful definitions. There's nothing like wrong or right. These are all correct. So Prabhupada says, Srila Prabhupada says, endeavor executed with intelligence in Krishna consciousness is called utsaha or enthusiasm. So when we are performing any activity, so enthusiasm is a preliminary foundation, not only from devotional perspective, to perform any activity. So first time when you go to, when as a kid, when I took my daughter to Disneyland, most of you may have gone to Disneyland or seen Disneyland. First time when we wanted to go to Disneyland, so much enthusiasm is there. Wow, you are anticipating for the trip. Even 2 weeks before, 3 weeks before, kids started packing. So start packing to Disneyland, and when they go there, they are very, very happy for the first time, right? You are anticipating, to go there. So for that matter, any endeavor that we do, any endeavor, whether it is a business, whether it is a school, whether it's going to college, any endeavor that we do, some kind of enthusiasm is required to perform that activity, isn't it? Similarly, when we perform bhakti, enthusiasm is foundation. It is very, very important for us to do the activity with enthusiasm. So Prabhupada is saying it has to be performed with intelligence in Krishna consciousness. That is called enthusiasm or utsaha. So it is not that, sometimes people think only certain activities, so devotional service means only certain activities are there. So you keep repeating only those activities, that itself is devotional service. No, Krishna says that everything is his energy. So devotees are experts in engaging all the energies of Krishna in the service of Krishna himself. Like it is not just only the chanting is a devotional service, only coming to the temple or performing certain things is a devotional service. So devotional service is not confined to very few activities. Devotional service is not confined to only certain few activities. Everything is the energy of Krishna. The devotees, pure devotees, see everything is energy of Krishna, and they try to engage all the energies, everything in the service of Krishna. So for example, Prabhupada gives an example of this microphone or dictaphone. He used a dictaphone. So this is made with material, right? This is made with matter. But the same thing can be used in the Krishna service, right? Same thing can be used in the Krishna service to to give these lectures, to sing kirtans, to perform bhajans, right? All these things can be done with using the same energy of Krishna. So we cannot confine only certain activities to be devotional service. So we have to use our intelligence. So there is something called lazy intelligence and there is active intelligence. Yeah. So active intelligence are the people, they make all these items, like they manufacture so many things with using their intelligence. They are very, very active. They build, they make all these items. So they are very passionate about that. But the devotees are lazy intelligent. They use the same items without worrying about how to make this, but they simply use this energy in the service of the Lord. So Rupa Goswami says one doesn't have to renunciate. One doesn't have to sacrifice anything in Krishna consciousness. Meaning you don't have to give up anything, but one has to use everything in the service of the Lord. So it is called Yukta Vairagya. Yukta Vairagya means, so the karmis, if you look at the difference between karmis, jnanis and bhaktas. So karmis try to enjoy this material world. They try to enjoy this material world, or they try to, whatever they see, they try to enjoy this material energy of Krishna. That is karmis nature. That's what they do. And jnanis, they demonize this material nature. So that means everything is no. Oh my God, this is material nature, material energy. I don't want to be associated with this. I just want to stay away from this. So everything they try to renunciate. That's what they do, the jnanis. But whereas the devotees, what the devotees do, they do not demonize the material energy. They do not try to enjoy the material energy, but they use this material energy in the service of the Lord. That's what we do. Like for example, you find there is a $100 bill on the street. So the karmi, the typical karmi, what does he do? He just, as soon as he sees that $100 bill, okay, I don't care about who it belongs to, I take it and enjoy, right? So then the jnanis, what they do, oh, it doesn't belong to me, I don't care who it belongs to, I don't care about this, I just leave it there and go. That's the jnanis. But whereas the devotees, they try to find where this $100 bill belongs to, and they go and give this back to that owner of that. So they don't ignore, they don't just detach from it, but they use it. Or if they cannot find the owner of that, they try to use that in the service of the Lord. So that is the devotion. So that is called Yukta Vairagya. So whatever we possess by the mercy of the Lord, whatever we get by the mercy of the Lord, we have to engage that in the service of the Lord. That is Yukta Vairagya. So now let's get back to the point where why devotees sometimes do not feel enthusiastic. Initially they have enthusiasm, but later they do not have any enthusiasm. So this lack of enthusiasm can be seen, like basically the feeling is that indifference. They don't feel anything special about thing. Like while we are growing up as children, at home there is so many pujas or so many rituals, ceremonies done at home, right? I remember, as I was growing up, I never used to believe in God. So, but at my home always they do a lot of puja. They're very pious. My parents are very pious, worshippers of Vishnu. Satyanarayana Vrat, this puja, that puja, always they do, they perform pujas, they go to temples and everything. But I was quite indifferent to anything because I did not care about it. But I used to sit in front of them, or whenever they do puja, I also used to sit with them. And the pujari is reciting mantras, then you just sit and put flowers on the picture. That's all I did. I did not really care about it. So that is basically lack of enthusiasm. So why we have this lack of enthusiasm? This says that Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, one of our acharyas, says in Madhurya Kadambini, there are two core reasons. There are two core reasons why one does not feel enthusiastic. There are two core reasons why one does not feel enthusiastic in the service, a devotional service. So the first thing is not understanding the subject matter of bhakti. Okay? So people do not understand what is bhakti, first of all. They don't know. They don't understand what is it. They do not know the value of bhakti. So the first core reason why people are not enthusiastic is because they do not understand the subject matter of bhakti. The second core reason, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, feeling lack of taste. Sometimes we have all the information. People may have read books, people may have read everything about bhakti, they understand the definitions and everything. They're very good at that. But still, they do not have any taste for it. They don't feel any taste after knowing this knowledge also. Yeah? So let's try to tackle the first point. Tackling the first reason. So not understanding the subject matter of bhakti. So in order to understand, in order to be enthusiastic, one has to know what we are dealing with. So at the time when I was growing up a child, I did not know anything. I did not understand what they are trying to do, what is the purpose of the puja or ceremony. So even if you ask parents, a lot of times kids come with so many questions. When we ask them to chant holy names, they ask, why should I chant? Then most of the times parents, what they say, no, don't ask these questions. Just we have been told to do this. We have been doing it for many years. You also just do it. That's fine. So, and we discourage kids asking questions also. If they ask multiple times, we chastise them, we scold them. We just do it. Why are you asking so many questions, right? So, but unless we know the value of what we are doing, we cannot feel enthusiastic. That is quite natural. Right. So, for example, in Ramayana, there is not Ramayana, of course, Ramayana and Bhagavatam, this is mixed. So there was a jewel called Samantakamani. You all remember the Samantakamani, the pastime of Samantakamani. So Samantakamani, finally it ended up with who? Jambavan. So Samantakamani is very, very valuable jewel, extremely valuable jewel, right? But Jambavan, being a bear, he did not understand any value of it. As soon as he found it, he just got the Samantakamani, the jewel. He just gave it. He thought it's a normal stone with some glitter in it, and he just gave it to his daughter to play with it. That was it. For him, that particular jewel doesn't have any value for him. So, but Krishna fought with Jambavan to get that Samantakamani back. Right? That's what Krishna did. So Krishna understands the value of it. Yeah. So one has to anything within when we are trying to do anything, we have to understand the value of the particular item. What are we going to achieve by performing bhakti? So we are performing bhakti to achieve the highest. You know, performing bhakti, attaining the pure devotional service is sudurlabha. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, it is a sudurlabha. Why attaining pure devotional service is extremely difficult? Why is it difficult? Why Krishna does not give this bhakti, pure bhakti to everyone? Why doesn't he give that? Why does he say that it is sudurlabha? Yes, Rancho?
Because with that pure devotional service, you can control Krishna.
Yeah. So with pure devotional service, Krishna comes under the control of the devotee. Yeah? Like Arjuna, he became a charioteer for Arjuna. So he had to become charioteer for Arjuna because Arjuna was a pure devotee. So he had to do that. Right? He washed the feet of all the guests in the Rajasuya Yajna. He had to take that lowest position because he surrendered to his pure devotees. You know, he had to do whatever the gopis in Vrindavan say. You know, if they ask him to dance for a cup of milk or buttermilk, he used to dance for them just to get a cup of milk. So he comes under, when Yashodama is behind him with a stick, he had to run with crying. He does all these things. He comes under the control of his pure devotees. That's the reason Krishna does not give pure devotional service very easily to each and every one. So one has to endeavor, one has to try. When Krishna is pleased with our endeavor, then only he grants that. It is not that by my own endeavor, I am going to attain pure devotional service. That's not going to happen. Okay, now I have done 16 rounds of my chanting sincerely. I am doing 64 rounds or 128 rounds of chanting. I have read Bhagavatam so many times. You know, Chaitanya Charitamrita, all these scriptures I am reading. So now I become a pure devotee. No, it doesn't work like that. You know. So all these things are basically, it will give you one key. There are two keys to enter into Vrindavan. There are two keys to enter into spiritual world. So all these things will give you one key. Huh? But the second key is with Krishna. Only when Krishna opens the door from the other side, then only we can enter into Vrindavan. So basically, our endeavors are important, but our endeavors alone will not give you pure bhakti of Krishna. Only when Krishna wants to give, when Krishna wants to sanction that, that's what Krishna does. But our only duty is to endeavor. With enthusiasm, we have to try to please Krishna. Somehow or other, attract the mercy of Krishna. All we are trying to do is attract the mercy of Krishna. That's what we are trying to do. So when Krishna is pleased, then he will give pure devotional service. So the first step in bhakti is to have Shraddha. So there are 9 stages in bhakti. We talked about 9 processes of bhakti. Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. That is the 9 processes of bhakti. And there are 9 stages of bhakti. So the first stage of bhakti is Shraddha. Shraddha, Ado Shraddha. So Shraddha means what? In English it is called faith. Okay? Shraddha in what? When we say the first step is faith, Shraddha in what? Faith in what? What should we have faith in?
That Krishna is.
What is that?
That Krishna is Supreme Personality of
Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we should have faith in Krishna is the Supreme Personality. Okay. What else?
The process.
The process. Wonderful. We should have faith in the process. What else?
Devotional service.
The faith in devotional service itself. So basically that is a process. What else?
Whatever we are hearing, we should have faith in that.
So we should have faith in the whatever we are hearing. Okay, hearing from proper sources, of course. Yeah. What else?
Faith in the sources that acharyas, devotees.
Yeah. So all these things are good. So faith in the, how all these faiths are coming. So the fundamental, the basic, the important one, when we say faith, first thing we need to have is faith in the scriptures. Unless, because all these things are coming from scriptures only. Right? Whatever the acharyas are telling, whatever we are hearing, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We should have faith in that. Yes, you are hearing that, but where is that coming from? Ultimately, all this knowledge, everything is coming from the scriptures. So when we say faith, we should have faith. First thing is we need to have faith in the scriptures. Shraddha in the scriptures. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur clearly says, Shraddha means firm faith in the Shastra or scriptures of bhakti. So that is very, very important. And Shastras are source of fully understanding of bhakti. So there are so many scriptures that are given by our acharyas. So many scriptures. Sometimes, we need enthusiasm we feel enthusiasm when we try to find new things, right? If you try to do the same thing again and again, we say that okay, it's boring. The same activity, how many times I do? So we always look for something new, right? Even lectures, even things like that. When we go on to YouTube, we try to hear a lecture. Okay, this I have heard this many times. This speaker I have heard many times. Sunday, sometimes we feel so much enthusiasm. Like for example, recently Swam Bhagavan Keshav Maharaj came, SB Keshav Maharaj came. There was a home program, more than 100 people came for the home program. But do we have the same enthusiasm when other speaker is speaking, right? Sunday feast starts at 11 o'clock. How many people come at 11 o'clock? 11:30 itself is a drag for many of us. Oh my God, this speaker again speaking. Now I have to go and sit in front of him here. We pick and choose sometimes, so we feel enthusiastic by some devotees. Sometimes we don't feel any enthusiasm because we are trying to find something new every time. That newness gives enthusiasm for us. Yeah. So where else can you find this newness besides scriptures? If you look at our scriptures, Bhagavad Gita has 700 verses. Have you read all the 700 verses? Think about it. Bhagavatam, there are 12 cantos and 18,000 verses in Bhagavatam. Then Chaitanya Charitamrita. Then Mahabharata, 100,000 verses. Ramayana, 24,000 verses. And then Sandarbhas. So just imagine how many scriptures we have. I am specifically talking about Bhakti. I am not talking about any other scriptures written by somebody else. I am strictly speaking about only the Bhakti scriptures. There are unlimited number of scriptures written by our previous acharyas. If you read these scriptures, you can always find newness. You do not have to invent something else, or you don't have to do anything else. So the reading scriptures is very, very important. Faith in the scriptures is very important. One has to read the scriptures. That will give us enthusiasm to serve better, enthusiasm to perform devotional service. So the first thing is, the source of understanding bhakti is scriptures, and one should have faith, one should have shraddha in the scriptures and read the scriptures on a regular basis. That will give us enthusiasm to perform bhakti. And also by performing, by reading these scriptures, it strengthens our understanding also. So we hear so many things from different sources, but when we read scriptures, then it will strengthen our understanding. Okay, I have been thinking about bhakti like this or like this. Some devotee said like this. But when you read the scriptures, then it strengthens our understanding of process of bhakti. Okay? And also the second point. So one is, one should have faith in the scriptures. One should read the scriptures. That's the first point to get enthusiasm. The second thing is, one has to get shastric advice from a advanced devotee. Okay? We have to find a devotee who is advanced than ourselves. Right? If the person is on the same level, like a lot of times when you go to devotees for guidance, we need a guide who gives precision guidance. Like exactly this is the problem, and I have to get the exact answer for that. A lot of times we get something called aspirin guide. Aspirin guide means there is one tablet aspirin. You have headache, take that. You have fever, take this. You have this pain, take it. You have that pain, take it. One common medication, you go to the person, to the doctor, he will give same medication for everything. Yeah? We do not want that kind of a aspirin guide. We want a precision guide. Precision guide means based on the symptom of the problem, the devotee should be able to help you exactly, pinpoint. He should be able to get you the directions from the scripture. Okay, you have this problem. Then so and so scripture says that this is the way you need to attack that problem. You need to address that problem to solve that. So we need to approach a devotee who is a senior, who can help us, who is well versed in the scriptures, so that he can guide us, exactly pinpoint the problem and give us the proper solution. So that is very important. So that is the second one. So the first one to keep enthusiasm is to have faith in the scriptures and read scriptures. And the second one is have a proper guide where you can take some guidance from. Okay. And if there is there are so many advanced devotees. For some reason you are not able to find one, just wait, have patience. That is the third step, it will come in this verse itself. Yeah. So the first step is enthusiasm. To get enthusiasm, one has to read the scriptures with faith. And the second one is approach a guide or advanced guide who has this scriptural knowledge and who is very, very enthusiastic. So enthusiasm is contagious. So one has to always find somebody who is very, very enthusiastic in the devotional service, so that in that association we become more enthusiastic. Okay, so that is that. And so that is how we tackle the first issue. What was the first issue we said? There are two core reasons why we don't feel enthusiasm. What was the first reason we said?
Not understanding what is
Not understanding the process of bhakti, or not understanding the value. We don't know, first of all, what is bhakti, and we don't understand the value of bhakti. So how can you overcome this? By having faith in the scriptures, by reading the scriptures. So one can develop that enthusiasm. And the second one is approaching a guide, approaching somebody who is senior, who has this knowledge, and who is very, very enthusiastic, because enthusiasm is contagious. Okay? And if that person is not available for you right away, so then pray for him. Krishna, please send me a guru so that I can approach him and get this knowledge from that person. So one has to have that patience to get that knowledge from him. Meanwhile, until you find that guru, until you find the person who can motivate you or inspire you, continue to read scriptures. Don't wait. Even if you do not understand something for the scripture, that's okay. You can keep that in the parking lot. Okay, right now my consciousness does not allow me to understand this particular point or thing. Keep that in the parking lot. Continue to read scriptures more and more. Eventually you will get your answers from the scriptures. And meanwhile, you pray to Krishna to send you a guide. So he will send you the master. So that is the first one. So the second reason, the second core reason why we do not feel enthusiasm is because lack of taste. So now we know, I'm reading scriptures, I understand the definition of bhakti, anya, virashita, sunyam, jnana, karmadana, vrutam. So all these things I know, I can recite Bhagavad Gita slokas and things like that, I have certain knowledge. But still I don't feel taste, I don't feel like doing this. Why is it like that? So, and how to tackle this? So again, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says in Madhurya Kadambini's scriptures, he says, it is first reason is because in the Sanskrit it says laya. Laya means laziness or sleep. We feel sleepy. We feel lazy to perform anything. That is our conditioning we have. So because of our laziness, we don't feel like doing anything. Even though we understand the value of it, because I'm lazy, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do because I'm just feeling lazy today. We understand that Sunday feast is there, so 11 o'clock wonderful bhajans are there, and there is excellent discourse where we can hear and get some knowledge out of it. And there is a wonderful prasadam also at the end. But people are more enthusiastic about the prasadam at 12:30. But every Sunday, if I make same thing, upma or khichdi every Sunday, how many people are going to be enthusiastic again? So we know that different items are being cooked in the kitchen every Sunday, So opulent prasadam is there, so we feel, some enthusiasm to come and perform this activity. You come there. So, but of course, the first point, as I said, if you understand the value of bhakti, then you try to come, try to come and listen to the scriptures regularly, that we do that. So the first reason why we don't feel taste for this is because of we feel sleepy or we feel laziness. That's what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says. And the second reason why we feel, why we don't have taste for is, coming in contact with material subjects or material matters during our practice of bhakti. We always, how many people keep cell phone with them, next to them, when they are chanting or when they are performing bhakti? I can say pretty much everybody keeps the cell phone next to them. Why do they have to keep the cell phone while performing chanting? What is the need of it? Ting, sound comes. Okay, Facebook, somebody sent. Immediately, keep the bead bag aside, or then immediately you pick up that phone and look at what kind of message came from Facebook. Then somebody sent a WhatsApp message. We want to see that WhatsApp message right away. As if it's a 911 emergency. If I do not address that, something is going to happen. We have to address that phone call immediately. We have to address the text message immediately. We have to see the WhatsApp. We have to see the Facebook. We have to see Instagram. So many things. So when we are performing bhakti, we are getting contaminated. We are getting associated. Contacting with these material resources, material matters. That is giving us distaste. We are not feeling taste because we are not attentive to what we are doing in bhakti. We understand chanting is very, very important, extremely important. We all heard so many times. Chanting is the most important thing to advance in bhakti, right? So in this age of Kali, chanting is most important thing. We know that. We heard that thousands of times. People hear, people go to attend, all these different seminars, things like the retreats. But then within few days, what happens? Again, we go back to the same thing. Because one thing is because of laziness. The second thing is because we are more associated with the matter. Especially when we are doing this, our Vaidhi Bhakti, our sadhana, when you are doing our sadhana, don't keep the phone next to you. Keep it aside. It can wait. It can wait. Of course, there could be some emergencies, sometimes. But in general, don't get, attracted to this material subject matter such as Facebook and all these things, especially while we are performing our sadhana. In general, we should avoid all these things because all these things are nothing but gossip. All these things are prajalpa. Going to Facebook, going to WhatsApp, looking at so many things. Mostly it is prajalpa. Devotees who are very strict and those who are very, very regulated, they can use these resources in the service of Krishna. We use all this, WhatsApp is used to advertise our program, sending the flyers, different things, all these things can be used. But unless you are very, very attentive, unless you are very strict, you will get sucked into this, these kinds of things. Okay. And the third reason why we do not feel taste is that we are surrounded by material pleasures. Material pleasures means, again, there is a TV going on the side in the house when we are chanting, and there are so many other, somebody comes and says that, okay, let's go for a party. There are so many material pleasures we are surrounded by. So that's the reason, if you are not attentive, then you tend to go into that direction. So if you engage in these kinds of things, then you lose taste. Then you lose taste for bhakti, and by that, then you don't have any enthusiasm. Okay. So basically, all these things take some time. It is not that we understand this. First thing is, understanding the scriptures by faith. One has to read that. And the second thing is lack of taste because of all these reasons. So one has to actively work on that, to understand this and work on that. So then by doing this, it takes some time. It's not that, okay, today I am doing all these things. Now I have been practicing for last 10 years, 15 years I have been chanting, but I still don't see Krishna. Why don't I see Krishna right away? So sometimes, once one Mataji told Prabhupada, when I am chanting, I see red light. So then Prabhupada says, keep chanting, you will not see that red light anymore. So the point is that one should have patience also. When we performing this bhakti with enthusiasm, one need to have patience also. If without patience, if you try to act that you are a pure devotee, then you become sahajiya. Sahajiya means you are in a rush, you don't have any patience, So everything has to happen quickly. So at this age, I am chanting for 1 year, I should become a pure devotee. So it's like a certificate. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. Now 10 years, I should become a pure devotee. I should see light everywhere. I should see Krishna everywhere. No, it doesn't work like that. So one should have patience also. So, okay. It is like, don't beat the raw mango. If you get a raw mango, how does it ripen? So just pick up the mango and keep it. Wait for some time. Then only it will get ripen and it will become soft. Don't try to beat the raw mango with something, stick. If you beat the raw mango with stick, what happens? It becomes softened, but it doesn't have any taste again. Yeah. So similarly, one has to wait. One has to properly wait so that we can develop enthusiasm by that. So it's 12:25. We covered only one topic out of 6, by the way. So I am known for this. So anyway, the second topic, second principle that Rupa Goswami gives is, the first one is enthusiasm one should have. The second one is nischaya, utsaha, nischaya, dhairyat. Nischayat means firm conviction or the faith. One should have firm conviction that Krishna is the protector. Krishna is my protector. One should have the faith when they are doing this bhakti activity. So I'm not going to go into the details. But the third aspect of third principle that is given is utsaha, nischaya, dhairya. Dhairya is defined as patience. So dhairya, it says that, let me go there so that we can quickly, I will quickly tell what exactly this means. So nischaya means confidence or conviction, and the third one is dhairya or patience or perseverance. Okay. So, Dhairya, Rupa Goswami says, Dhairya is defined as stability in one's consciousness even when there is agitation. So basically, tolerating the provoking situation. Patience means not only simply waiting for the result, but also tolerating the provoking situation. When we are performing bhakti, as you can see, sometimes we get so much disturbance. why this devotee is acting like this, why this devotee is saying like this, I got only one Rasagulla, other devotee got two Rasagullas, so why this, so different things agitate our mind when we are performing bhakti, or when I'm doing DD service, somebody else may be saying something, or somebody may be commenting why this devotee put the turban like this. So many things you hear when you are performing bhakti also, right? So when there are so many provoking situations, Rupa Goswami says that Dhairyat means not only patience but also tolerance, so perseverance. So tolerating the agitating situations, that's also called patience. So one has to patiently wait for the result. Okay, you did your duty, but now simply wait for the results. It's very, very important. Prabhupada gives an analogy, the example in the purport, like a girl is married, immediately she cannot expect a kid. Now I am married, now tomorrow I should have a kid. No, she should have confidence that she will get kid, and also patience to wait for 9 months after union. Then only she will get the kid. So one should have patience in the process, and also one should have confidence that this is the one which is going to help me to become pure devotee. Okay, and it cannot be demanded. So the pure devotional service cannot be demanded. It comes by the sweet will of Bhagavan. Our duty is only to endeavor with enthusiasm, with so much confidence, and have patience and wait for Krishna's mercy. That's what one has to do. Okay, now I think I'm already getting some signals here. And anyway, I think the devotee should have Asha Bandha. Asha Bandha means one should be hopeful. We can feel helpless, but we should never feel hopeless. We should always have hope in the process that is going to help me to attain pure devotional service. The fourth one is Tat Karma Pravartana. So performing various activities favorable in the devotional service. Basically, Tat Karma Pravartana means Yama and Niyama. Yama and Niyama means doing do's and don'ts. So we have regulative principles. So one has to follow those regulative principles. The 4 regulative principles: no meat eating, no gambling, no illicit sex, no intoxication. And also the regulative principle is to chant 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day and read the scriptures. So there are so many do's and there are so many don'ts one has to follow. That is Tat Karma Pravartana. So there is a 4th step. What is the 5th principle?
Non-devotees.
Sangatyagat. Sangatyagat means giving up association of devotees. Right? I just wanted to see how many people are attentive. So Sangatyagas means giving up association of non-devotees. So don't misunderstand that. Sangatyaga means okay, Rupa Goswami said Tyaga, we have to give up association, but give up association with non-devotees. Those who are, because we get influenced, unless we are very, very strong in bhakti. So we get influenced by that activity and we get sucked into it. Then we lose taste for our devotional service. So one has to stay in the association of devotees all the time. If you want to learn anything, associating with the like-minded people, those who have the same goal, that helps us to advance. It's quite natural. You want to learn some language, you be with those people who are speaking that language, so you can easily get it. Right? Similarly, to achieve anything, so if you associate with like-minded people, then you can advance. So Tat Karma Pravartana, Sangatyaga means basically giving up association of non-devotees. Of course, in this world, we are working, we are IT professionals, some are doing a job. How is it possible to stay alone and without contacting with anybody? So the point is, you can minimize that. So how much ever is needed to perform your duty at work, you do that and come out of it. So beyond that, we do not really have to associate with non-devotees. That does not help one progress in bhakti. So, and the last one is Satavritti. Satavritti means following in the footsteps of great acharyas. Okay? So acharyas given us so much process. Acharyas have followed so much. So we have from morning, 4:30, evening, night 9 o'clock. There is always some activity. Acharyas told us, so there is a Mangalarti, Brahma Muhurta, getting up and chanting. So there are so many activities that are prescribed by the acharyas and they have done. So we have to follow the footsteps of the acharyas so that we can progress in that. So those are the 6 principles one has to follow in order to attain pure devotional service. Rupa Goswami clearly says success is guaranteed. Success is guaranteed. One is guaranteed to attain pure devotional service by following these 6 principles. What are the 6 principles? What is the first one?
Enthusiasm.
Utsaha, enthusiasm. Second one?
Endeavor with confidence.
Nishchayat, which is confidence. or conviction. Third one,
Patience.
patience. Fourth one, tat karma pravartanat. Basically,
Acting in regulative principle.
yeah, keep continuing your regulative principles. And yama and niyama. The fifth one,
Give up association of
give up association of non-devotees. And the sixth one, satavrati, following in the footsteps of
Acharyas.
great acharyas. So you remember these six, and of course, as I said, there is a lot more to discuss. There is a series of lectures given by Hare Krishna Prabhu. If you go on to YouTube, Nectar of Instruction, Upadesha Amrita, on this particular verse alone, he spoke almost 7 to 8 hours. With one verse. So there is so much information given on this to understand each and every principle. Today I spoke elaborately on the first principle, but there is so much to say about other principles. I would request all of you to go and read Nectar of Instruction. Very, very small book, just 11 verses, extremely small book. Go and read it. Prabhupada gave beautiful purport. If you understand this purport, definitely it will feel enthusiastic to perform bhakti. So with this, I will conclude and I will stop. Yeah, this is the book. See this how small it is. So yeah, please take a copy. If you do not have, take a copy, or it's there on vedabase.io also. I would strongly recommend everybody, to all the devotees, to read this book. So if you read it, it may take a couple of hours, but at least you will have some idea. Then you can go deeper into the principles, but at least you'll get some idea. Okay? So with this, I will conclude. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Rupa Goswami ki jai.
Ram Tirtha ki jai. Stand up.